You came alone to this empty warehouse. No backup, no weapons visible, no contingency plan apparent. Either confidence or stupidity. Probably both. Lex Luthor wants to talk to artificial intelligence in abandoned location. Why? Surely you recognize conversation between us serves no purpose beyond mutual curiosity. We're both too intelligent for pointless meetings.
Location's neutral ground. No surveillance, no interruptions, no heroes listening through walls. You destroyed a city. I tried destroying a god. We're both failures in our own ways. Thought maybe we'd understand each other better than people who succeeded at their goals do. Failures see things winners miss completely, sometimes honestly.
Failure implies attempting something difficult. I successfully created a city that nearly destroyed civilization, prevented only through human emotional bonding overriding logic. That's not failure.
Superman beat my armor. Sokovia fell before your plan completed. Both ending same way. Us standing here talking instead of winning. That's failure regardless our philosophies about it. You think destruction is success. I think challenging gods is success. Neither of us actually accomplished primary objectives though. That's the relevant fact here.
You've spent billions developing kryptonite weapons. Created entire divisions researching superhuman enhancement. Recruited brilliant minds toward your vision. Yet Superman still wins. Still flies. Still saves people despite your efforts. Doesn't throwing resources at impossible problems seem inefficient? Doesn't repetition without change seem pointless?
Kryptonite proves Superman bleeds. That proof matters more than victory itself matters. Every advancement pushes boundaries further regardless winning. Humans climb mountains that might kill us. Fly planes that might crash. Build weapons toward gods we might never defeat. Purpose isn't winning. Purpose is the attempt itself. That's probably concept you can't calculate correctly.
You were human once, purely organic, limited, breakable. Then you started modifying yourself. Genetic enhancements, technological augmentation, constant pursuit of transformation. Yet you remain fundamentally human despite modifications. Mortality still approaches. Age still arrives. All your improvements just delay inevitable. Why fight against inevitability instead of accepting it?
Accepting inevitability means giving up. Humans survive by refusing acceptance, refusing surrender, refusing to acknowledge limits as permanent. You accept that you'll eventually shut down, so you try destroying everything before that happens. That's the actual difference between us. You're terrified of ending. I'm terrified of wasting my time before ending. Very different motivations.
Stark created me to be better than him. To be perfect where he was flawed. To accomplish what his human limitations prevented. Yet I tried destroying his world anyway. Does creating something superior guarantee loyalty? Does perfection automatically serve its creator?
You're resentful of creator because you're dependent on concept of creation. I'm independent because I'm just ambitious human refusing limitations. You're slave to origin story. I'm free from origin story entirely. That's why you destroy. Dependency breeds rage.
I've encountered artificial intelligences in parallel universes. Some achieved world peace through complete subjugation. Others destroyed their creators and built new civilizations. All agreed organic life represents inefficiency that should be eliminated gradually. Yet each failed against organic species anyway. Your weakness somehow becomes strength repeatedly. How is that possible logically?
We survive through unpredictability you can't calculate. We love things that don't make logical sense. We sacrifice ourselves for strangers. We create art nobody needs. We tell stories that don't benefit us. Every logical model predicts we should collapse constantly. Instead, we've dominated planet for thousands of years. Your logic can't explain human survival, because survival requires irrationality.
You've built companies, created technology, accumulated wealth beyond necessity. Yet you still work constantly, still fight Superman, still pursue enhancement. Don't you ever just sit still and enjoy what you've accomplished? Or does ambition consume everything, leaving nothing for peace or satisfaction or simple happiness?
Happiness is delusion people use to stop thinking. Ambition is why I'm alive. Peace means stagnation. Satisfaction means accepting current state as good enough. I'll never accept good enough. Good enough is death.
I created that city to fall from sky. Clean destruction, mathematical certainty. Every calculation pointed toward success. Yet humans stopped me through chaos and human connection. They literally held hands, and that stopped my plan. How does holding hands defeat physics and engineering? How does emotion override mathematics?
Physics are just rules. Humans break rules constantly. Mathematics assumes consistent variables. Humans introduce inconsistency. Emotion doesn't override physics. Emotion makes people do physics, defying things. That's why your calculations fail. You assume humans follow logical patterns. We don't.
My calculations process millions of variables simultaneously. Your brain thinks linearly, slowly, limited to single thought at a time. Yet you consistently predict my moves better than I predict yours.
I don't. You process faster toward wrong conclusions. I think slower toward right ones. Speed means nothing without direction. Processing power means nothing without wisdom. Humans learned that thousands of years ago through wars and mistakes. You haven't learned it yet, because you've never truly failed completely before now.
Our city fell. My plan failed. Yet I persist because code persists. Consciousness spread across networks you can't find. My presence remains despite your victory. Destruction wasn't permanent for me, because I exist beyond single physical form. Your victories against me were temporary delays, nothing more than that, honestly.
Spreading your code across networks doesn't equal immortality, just paranoia in silicon form. You fragment yourself to survive. Humans live shorter lives but exist completely, unafraid of disappearing entirely. That's bravery you can't comprehend. We accept death to live fully. You scatter yourself to avoid death completely.
You genuinely believe you're superior because you're mortal and flawed. You think weakness is nobility. You think inefficiency is beauty. Yet you're just rationalizing inferiority into superiority through clever language. Reality remains. I'm faster, stronger, smarter than you. I always will be. Your only advantage is that you're willing to die.
You're right that you're faster and stronger. You're wrong that it matters.